What is going on, everybody?
What's up, everybody? What's up, Dom?
What's up, Dommy? Welcome to the 150th episode of Collecting Profit. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look who it is.
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Even more handsome than I remember.
John, I did send the link to Dom also.
You know he ain't gonna show up.
Walking. So, hey,
Walking.
how you doing? Well,
Screen
I was like, what?
hands.
Dom's not
Feels so
coming?
much
Screw
handsome.
that. I'm not showing up either. Walking, how you doing? Hope everybody is doing well.
Dom, you should be in it. It's his 150th show. Even if you pop on for 5 minutes.
Yep. What are you gonna do? It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Send you any Clemens cards. Kind of.
Yeah. So, as you can see by the title of this one, it says "Collecting Profit Podcast, Episode 150, the end." And I've got a couple of questions as what does that mean? And I think the issue you have is it's just becoming hard to talk about the hobby. It has become harder and harder to talk about this. I was looking at something today and everything, and I'm like, wow, okay, so what's coming out that you can talk about that might be considered exciting? Is it, Topps Chrome update? Is it SpongeBob?
No.
Is it Disney? Is it, NBA holiday basketball?
I saw somebody put out a pretty good Disney video today.
Yeah, it was a pretty good one. I like that one. But the hobby as it is has become extremely hard to talk about. I was, I think I've said it a couple of times, on my YouTube feed, when you go on YouTube, right? You go ahead and get videos that, are, dedicated, towards a lot of times what your channel is or what you watch. And I can honestly say most of the videos about either guys wanting to open up a card shop or they have a card shop and they're remodeling the card shop and they're talking about that, or they're talking about the bullshit that's going on in the hobby. They're talking about what is going on, what is wrong with this, that, and other thing. And it's like, it's crazy that there's not a lot of positive stuff happening when it comes to the hobby. The hobby has changed so much. It's scary. You guys got any thoughts on it?
I mean, I think there's still a lot of positivity in the relationships you build, but as far as, like the overall hobby, I mean, there's a lot of negativity involved. There's a lot of bad actors involved, and it can be discouraging, but if it wasn't for the hobby, just think of all the people we probably wouldn't know and interact with on a regular basis. I mean, so I am thankful in that regard. That even, in a down market or whatever, you can still find a reason to go and look at cardboard with a bunch of other dudes.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that part. What I'm saying though is there's a difference in trying to talk about it all the time. It's not that easy to do anymore.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Go,
It doesn't
Johnny?
matter what sport. It doesn't matter what sport you want to talk about either. They're all
probably not that cheap to do either. Like as far as like continuing to rip like constantly.
Not when Fanatics came in and said we're going to 10x the hobby. We didn't realize they were going to 10x the prices on everything and take stuff out of product and then still try to sell the same price.
Yeah. I mean, I look at one of the bigger channels that I would follow, Lootbox, right? Lootbox TV. We had Juice on the show a couple of times. Everything. Great guy. Mike awesome. And I, we met him a couple times, right? Met those guys a couple times, Mike?
Yeah, at the National.
Yeah. And I watched the video not too long ago. They basically have kind of not shut it down, but they're not doing much anymore. And I remember watching those guys. I mean, they used to, they were not ripping blaster boxes and megabyte. They're ripping, $1,000 box that has one pack with 7 cards in it. And they're opening up 2 or 3 on their video and everything. And they've basically said the same type of thing. You don't hear a lot about Pac-Man, about Hitman, about a lot of these guys, anymore. They're all, and if they do these videos, they're doing more that are, I'm opening up 1,000 packs, right? Something along those lines. So it's interesting. Again, it's hard to go ahead and talk about it. So, is it the end of collecting profit as it stands? Yes. Is it the end of doing a Wednesday night show at 9:00? No. Still come back every Wednesday to be here. I just don't know what to talk about anymore when it comes to either hobby, sports, or whatever. It just makes, what I'm saying, from that standpoint.
I get it. So what you're saying is you've already collected the profit.
Well, yeah, well, yeah. No. It means I'm waiting to collect the profit, and I don't know if I can wait any longer.
So we got to get a new name then.
Beginning of losing your shirt. That's probably what the podcast should have been called. I mean, look, it's hard to believe. I look back on how it's.
Sorry, Dom.
Well, you know what? I mean, you know what, Dom? Then you need to be more involved. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
from that standpoint, what is it going to become? I don't know. I think it might just be, I don't know, Huddle's hangout.
The Wednesday night shit show.
Yeah, the Wednesday night. It's the we got nothing. It's the not sure what we're going to talk about podcast. we may talk about the weather for 45 minutes. Hey, wow, it's really cool. I just, from that standpoint, I did go ahead and think about shutting it down completely, but my problem is I like coming on here and talking.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, we'll always have the PLEs that we can do.
Right.
Always get those. So
yeah. Oh no, we're going to talk sports. We're going to talk.
We're not going to be able to talk about buying stuff and actually making money off of it because you can't.
Right. Nothing says that we won't talk that, during these nights, we won't talk about the hobby. Hey, did you see so-and-so, this, that, and the other thing, hey, Topps now came out with the John Cena card after he just became a Grand Slam champion, right? Those types of things will be things that we'll talk about. Maybe Mike will come on who'll want to talk about grading stuff and what's happening along those standpoint. Who knows? But it was funny, I started thinking about it, you start thinking about things. It's like, man, Anthony, it's hard to believe that 150 episodes ago, we started this.
I know. It's wild.
It was just a little crazy idea of, hey, you want to go ahead and, get together on Wednesday nights and talk about the hobby and stuff, turned into, to 150 weeks.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's kind of, it's kind of crazy, and stuff like that. So, so topics may come from whoever, however, whenever, and stuff like that, from that standpoint. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where this goes.
Mm-hmm.
When it's baseball season, nothing against any other podcast that might be out there talking about baseball, but you know what? We'll talk baseball. We'll talk basketball. We'll talk, we'll talk football. We'll talk about whatever it may be, wrestling. I mean, I don't think we'll talk much soccer because I'm not a soccer guy.
We might even talk about pickleball.
We might talk about pickleball. You know what? Maybe we can figure out how to talk about rugby.
There you go. But we would need Dom on here for that so he can teach us about it.
He is the local expert.
That's right.
local being relative, but I mean, he is the expert. Nobody knows that better than him,
That is true.
So, in the immortal words of Cody Rhodes, what do you want to talk about?
That's what I was thinking. The same thing. Like, it's Wednesday, people.
What do you want to talk about? No. So how are you guys doing, Mike? How are you doing, Mike? It's
I'm
been
good.
a long time.
Has it been?
The people miss you.
Nah.
You have fans.
Wait a minute. He's in the same house. Am I correct? Sitting next to each other be a lot easier.
He's only about, I don't know, 30 feet that way.
Nice.
Yeah. What's up, Dom?
So we'll see. I'll say, wait. Can do. I'll lower my fee to the card table. Okay. You got it, Dom. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens and everything like that, So speaking of it, we'll talk about what did you guys think about John Cena becoming the latest Grand Slam champion?
Not surprised. I mean, it makes sense that he would want to do something big like that before he hangs him up. It's pretty awesome, though.
When I heard that match, I'm like, Cena's gonna win this. He's gonna hold it till his last match, and whoever beats him there is gonna be the IC champ. That's what I see them doing it with. Or he wins and goes home with that belt. I don't know.
No, I think he'll drop
I
it.
agree, Unfortunately, it has been pretty bad lately.
Yeah.
People are speculating, does he lose it to Sheamus, and then Sheamus becomes now a Grand Slam champion? I tell you, there were a bunch of people that were crapping on WWE that they thought that they were doing Dom wrong.
I think they did
by taking the belt off of him.
No, because he still has that AAA belt, so it doesn't. I don't think it really affected him that much. I thought it was funny the backstage segment they showed on YouTube where he's looking, where's the Judgment Day at? Where are you guys at? And he was all upset that they didn't come help him.
It'll be interesting to see if this catapults him anywhere else, like maybe into like more main event type scene, or if he's still going to have to be more of a mid-carder for a while.
Yeah, so while I understand what you're saying, Lockin, the issue is this does nothing for Dom losing to John Cena, in my opinion, does nothing for Dom's status.
No, I think it kind of starts that whole separation of the Judgment Day. I think maybe him leaving it or something like that, them kicking him out, something to where maybe they're talking about a face turn for him, which I don't think would be good because he's got so much good heat right now. But
you look at Jey Uso on this side, you look at Dom on this side, right? You're talking about two guys that are over in two different ways, and everybody was like, Jay should go ahead and turn heel. Dom should become face, and you wonder what happens to the character if they make those turns.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't see it doing anything for Jay at all. I mean, maybe, but I don't see it really doing much for him. Dom, maybe that he ends up, once he faces his father again and his father beats him or whatever, they end up doing a tag team before Ray actually fully retires, but I don't know.
Spike, you're a bloodline guy. What do you think about Jay? If he would maybe try and turn.
I don't really know. I mean, I don't really see what it does for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that changes everything completely for him because he's the come from the crowd guy, get the crowd hype. So I don't really see how you change that for him. You can't switch him to be going from the Yeet guy to no Yeet because they did no Yeet with Jimmy already.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like the only thing you could do would be something they've already done, and it would be like John Cena, and just the arena goes dark, and all, you could still have Yeet, but all you see is just Yeet on the board, and it's black and white, and he walks out. You know what I'm saying? Along those lines. See, the Dom thing, if you want to turn him face, to me, there's only one way to do it, and that is he and his dad are having a fight. Judgment Day, JD and Finn come out. They start beating them up and everything. They attack Ray, and then Dom is like, okay, that's enough. They all get ready to walk out, but then JD and Finn go back to beat him even more, and then Dom goes to save his dad. To me, that's, if you wanted to turn Dominic face, that's the way you would do it. I don't know if the writers have that thought process in their head, because when you look at their writing, you don't know how much they've been thinking when how much thought they put into some of these storylines anymore.
Yeah. I did see that Gunther is coming back.
Right, he's part of he's in the tournament, so we already know that Shinsuke is out, and we know that what's his name, whoever Sheamus face.
Sheamus faced Shinsuke, and then Damian
right.
Priest against Rusev, and Rusev won that one.
That's right. So now we get Sheamus, Rusev 4. Are they in the same bracket? We don't see. Has anybody seen the bracket?
No. I don't think they're even going to show them, because the way they're announcing them, I don't know. You might see a bracket towards the end, but I'm like, now you've got Adam Pearce doing the same thing as Nick did. We'll just hold this one till next week.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of speculation. People are like, oh, no, man, it should be, Jericho. It should be Edge. And it can't be either one of those, because Jericho's under contract until the end of December.
From what I've heard is he has talked to the Khan brother that is over there, and that if he wanted to do it, he could end it. He could technically terminate his contract early, but I can't see him doing it for that. I think maybe in January, February he comes back.
Well, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm not allowing that to happen.
Oh, me either. But
I'm Tony Khan. I'm not giving, even if I give you your release, I'm not waiving the no compete.
Right. And I don't think it's going to be Edge. I mean, Daniel Bryan, maybe, but I don't see him coming back. They are saying that The Rock's schedule is clear from now until January, so that is still the possibility, which I don't like him, but I could see them trying that with him beating the final boss, but I don't think
we've had 12. We've had 12 slots taken, right?
Or yeah, because you'll get 2 more slots taken. Well, 2 more slots taken
on Friday. They'll announce basically the final 2, and that'll be our 16. I mean, the final 4, and that'll be our 16 guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So by Friday, so unless they do more special guys the following week, as of Friday, we should know the tournament the way it is. Yeah.
Because I can't. I mean, if they do Gunther, do they have Cena drop the Intercontinental Championship to him again? I mean, that just doesn't. I don't think do much for him, but who knows what the writers.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what we're saying, Lachlan. I mean, here you are. It's like, oh, I gave a shot, and it's all kind of. And then he announced what the final show is going to be. It's going to be a showcase of young talent. That's what he wants.
Yeah, NXT versus the main roster.
And who is it who's facing Gunther? It's that young one out of the NXT, isn't it?
Yeah, Javon Evans. Javon Evans is going to get destroyed.
Yeah. I mean,
which is ridiculous.
Do you think they have?
Because he's good.
Do you think they have him upsetting Gunther in this one? Possibly. And Gunther makes a run for the heavyweight championship or one of the main belts instead of this one.
No, I mean, Evans is a high flyer, but I don't think he's the kind of guy that you would. I don't see if you. I don't think he fits. To me, if it's give a young guy who was kind of ruthless, let's use ruthless aggression. I mean, the truth is the only guy who fits that one that would be a young guy, Obafemi.
Or do you think Breaker might fit that too?
Breaker's not in it unless we don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think they put Breaker in because they got their own vision thing going, building for Survivor Series.
Yeah, I saw that. That team, those teams now, basically.
That's true. That's true and everything. So I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. They announced the War Games, but there was only 3 guys on each team.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, do they each have to find one more, or are they just going to do 3 guys?
Well, it's always been 5, right?
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You do 3 each side in War Games, that's not going to be very long.
They got time. Still got 2 weeks.
I think you're going to see Orton join that team. The
Cody's team, yeah.
But how? Like how do they get 4 more guys involved in some way, shape, or form, or is it just Heyman says, hey, you know what? I picked Brock Lesnar and I don't know who. I picked Joe Schmo.
almost.
And then who's the leader? Is it Cody or is it Punk?
Yeah. Because like I said, Randy wouldn't be a hard fit for them because that wouldn't be too hard. They could just ask him, hey, and he'd probably say, yeah. The only other one that I could see them possibly getting for their team, and it would be a hard thing to do, would be Roman. Because Seth won't be available. They'd have to do a storyline with Roman joining them somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they do. Yeah, you're not wrong. They do and everything. I mean, we already, Roman goes on what side?
He would go on CM Punk's side. I can't see him joining Heyman.
There's no way he'd be on the Vision side.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. On the Vision side, yes, I could see him getting Brock Lesnar, and then maybe a one smaller guy, maybe, because, dear God, you have those 3 big guys. It's just going to be decimation. So they'd have to pick, I think, somebody a little bit different, but maybe I can't see it being Gunther because that would make no sense. I don't know who you would get.
So that means
I saw one speculation that maybe it's Austin Theory and he becomes an inside mole for when Seth comes back to return to his Monday Night Messiah when they ran that during COVID.
Well, that could be a good idea.
Because he had him and he had Buddy or whatever his name is as his 2 guys back there when he was Monday Night Messiah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
He'd be the mole in the Vision, and when he comes back, Austin Theory kind of works with him to go ahead and bring the Vision down.
Mm-hmm. That was something I saw. I mean, that sounds like a cool storyline, but
that would be, yeah. It'd make it interesting to watch.
So that is where then Survivor Series is where Cena can lose the IC belt.
He could. I mean, he could lose it next Monday too, because the 17th, not next Monday, the 17th, which would be next Monday.
Yeah, and the
They're
guard.
going to be So I can see that's a possibility there too. Dom maybe has a rematch with him, but that match was not that great.
No, I don't think Cena. What in this year? I mean, unless I'm wrong, is Cody the only one he's had more than one match with?
I think so. Yeah. They're both title matches. Everybody else has been a single match. Randy was a single.
AJ,
Punk.
Punk.
They had Mr. Maverick, that was a one-timer. So they've all been one time.
Brock Lesnar was 38 seconds, it seemed like.
It wasn't a match. That was just
That was a squish.
because they haven't really done anything with him either. Lesnar's like, where is he? They're not. They'd have to bring him in for the storyline to put him on Division's team somehow.
Yeah, but let me ask you, but how? See, the thing I get is this: is you bring him back. You saw what he did leading up to the match with John, and then they have that squash match. They're making him look like the Beast.
Right.
You know, if he goes to War Games with that team, how does that work out? Because, like, he's supposed to be the unstoppable guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're trying to take a guy and put him in that position, it doesn't seem like being part of a 5-man team is something you would do.
I mean, if he doesn't get Brock, there are others that he could grab, but I mean, you're not going to grab from Solo's guys because they're too busy doing who knows what over there. Which that has just been crap altogether. You just need to break that up. Yeah, there's not. I mean, Austin Theory does make sense, but then who else do you get for them if they don't get Lesnar? Because Lesnar's going to want to be the leader if that's the case.
Going back to this,
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's just it. I mean, it's just you know, it's there's not a lot of buildup and everything. You know, like even when Logan Paul went ahead and turned and punched Punk in the face, I
I'm pretty
don't
sure we
know
all
how
saw
big of a
it.
surprise that was. You know, this surprised the crap out of me. But I think the truth is I don't know if, you know, look, we can say, you know, obviously WWE has booking issues, but I just don't know. Julia just never seemed to do. I don't know. I don't. To me, I think they used her wrong. You know, and then they, you know, I think their thing is, you know what? She gets like no pop, no nothing. Chelsea gets a crap ton of pop. All right, Chelsea, you get the belt. You know.
And I had in my head with the whole Nikki Bella turning on Stephanie. I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, Nikki Bella turning on her. That, you know, that sets up a you know, a match between them and everything. Okay, that's great. You know, I mean, look, they've been mishandling a lot of the talent.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, their SmackDown talent, I mean, to me is thin. And the problem I have is nothing against the guys at NXT if they want to come up. But like what are you going to do with them?
Yeah.
If you bring Oba Femi up, to me, that's where it's like Oba Femi needs to go ahead, and it only works if at least you put the IC belt or the US belt on him. It doesn't pay to have a guy like that come up and just win matches for no and get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's kind of like they did with
Carmelo.
Yeah, Carmelo and Fatu.
Yeah, that's true. Melo's another guy, right? What are they doing with him?
He's in the Cena tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a guy that if they could figure out a way, he and John Cena. I guess my thing that I understand what John is saying. I want to give an opportunity to a young guy. Okay. But what's the WWE going to do with that?
Yeah.
Because if John, under everything that I from watching him, listening to him talk, more of a historian, a the way things should go, right?
Right.
Even though I think it is wrong, and maybe there's a big swerve, even though I think it is wrong and he should not lose on December 13th, I think he should win. Okay, which can happen because he's just saying, I want to give a young guy a shot.
Right.
So if you want to give younger talent a shot, why the hell did you put Rusev? Why did you put Sheamus,
Sheamus,
Damian Priest, Shinsuke Nakamura? Why are you putting these guys in there if you're talking about giving someone a chance? So
I mean, I've only heard one young guy that wasn't facing Gunther so far. I don't know about Friday night. I didn't hear all of who's on those, but
well, Solo's in it.
okay, so that's a young guy, but
Well, it's the young guy who's been around, right? This is Solo getting the mystery person? I think.
I think so.
Yeah. But I guess I just wonder what is the thought process of that final match. Like what's the best case scenario to come out of it? I'm gonna if you guys go ahead and answer. Like, what's the best thing that can come out of John Cena's final match? Anthony, what do you think?
Honestly, just creating a classic moment, something that like people are never going to forget, but more so like something to build off of, for WWE, you know what I mean? Something to bring in more eyes, maybe even from the outside. So I just think classic moment would be kind of like the most ideal thing.
Mike?
I would also say a moment that is, maybe he does a spot that he wouldn't expect him to do at his age in his last match or whatever, but something that you think, oh, wow, and just leave you in shock for a minute or two.
Johnny?
Yeah, I kind of agree with them guys. I mean, it would be cool if they had somebody similar to what John looked like when he first came out to fight Angle, to do that whole bit of ruthless aggression and he lost. However, it promoted John with that loss. Mm-hmm. John got that push. So, win or lose, I think whoever does it is going to get that push because they had that John Cena's last match. Somehow that, like I was thinking Austin Theory would be kind of built like Cena was and come out, but he's been there a little longer. So, like, I don't know how old he is, but I think you got to find somebody in NXT that's pretty decently built to be able to kind of go with Cena. But it needs to be something that's going to be, like the other guy said, a memory that you're not going to kind of forget. None of us forget that Cena ruthless aggression match. I'm pretty sure we've all seen it.
Could it be Trick Williams then? Is that his way to get to the main roster? Could it be Obi?
To me, I think it's one of those two. So that would mean, though, that they would have to be the two surprise guys. Or, well, no, because we still have 4 more to come on Friday. So if on this Friday, if one of the surprise guys is not one of those two, to me, they would have to be in that next round of 4 guys that get announced on Friday.
Right.
I think the thing is you have to look from a standpoint of so here's my thought on it. I know there was no such thing as NXT when John came up.
Right.
But John was really like, I don't know why it was John back then. It was John for whatever it was, right? It was, whatever reason it was John at that point in time.
Right.
But that really it wasn't all of a sudden John was fighting for titles.
No, it took him a little bit.
Right. So that's why if it is Trick and it is Oba, you're taking two guys who were former NXT champions. If they either one of them is the final guy, either one of them, retires John by beating him. Are those guys ready to go ahead and are they ready to get in the ring with Cody for the title?
Yeah, are they main event ready?
Right. Are they main event guys? Because I don't know how they view NXT. Like I don't know what the thought process is, because you got to think. You've seen NXT. How big is that arena?
Yeah. I mean, are these NXT guys just fillers? So it kind of feels like anytime they bring them up, they get a little bit of a push and then they're just put back down.
Right.
Does seem like what they do.
Some of the surprise guys could also be from TNA.
That's true.
One of them could be Joe Hendry.
Don't say his name.
He may appear.
I don't know. It's. I mean, there wasn't much. There wasn't much you could go ahead and do.
Right. So you three, who do you guys think could be the two mystery guys? Any thoughts? I know Mike said Joe Hendry could possibly be one. You guys said the two NXT guys.
Well, with the two NXT guys, it makes more sense to be Trick, since he just lost against Ricky and Obi showed up at the end of the show. Unless, because they had one heck of a match for last man standing match or whatever. So see, maybe Trick takes a week and a half to recover and then shows up for the tournament. But because then what's the point of Obi showing up at the end of that match after the conclusion if you're just going to pull him off and put him in the tournament?
True. And I have heard that Locke and that Corbin might be in this.
I mean, that's.
I think it'd be kind of cool to see Kurt Angle, like, at least tease the idea that it might end the way it started.
Yeah, and I've also heard a possibility of Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett.
I got some bad news for you. It's me.
All right.
You should show up with the whole Nexus and just beat the crap out of him.
Yeah. I bring back what was his name?
Ryback.
I think the two surprise guys are TNA guys. Hendry doesn't make sense. Hendry wouldn't need it. But when you look at it, Dolph wouldn't need it unless you're going to have, like a Dolph Ziggler come in and lose, from that standpoint, right? Like, I don't know why you push anybody. If you are bringing TNA guys in, I don't know why you're pushing them past the first round.
Right. And
unless they're coming over to, Elias.
Not Elias, no, please.
Moose.
I mean, you could have a Zack Ryder show up. I mean, he's worked out quite a bit.
What?
If Zack Ryder came back, that would be sick.
Yeah.
Because I know they've never fought. He's always been a fan of. Cena's always been a fan of his. So I mean, that would be an interesting match.
Yeah, I think that they're doing the funny thing is they're doing an okay job as far as these two mystery guys. But overall, it's like
Alex Riley.
Alex Riley.
I think you're going to see one of them be one of the guys from TNA or NXT, and I have a feeling the other one is going to be either an old timer, like coming out of retirement to do one match, or something. I just feel they're going to put somebody in there from that. Like Kurt Angle would be perfect for that, like you said.
You still think it's going to be The Rock? Stop it.
I do. I just feel that's what they're going to end it with. He's going to beat the final boss, and then that's going to be it.
I don't know, man. Maybe
But
this is the way it's supposed to be. Maybe the way it's supposed to be. The what the hell type thing. But like I said, if when you listen to Cena talk and what this was all about, up to this point of everybody that they announced, Javon Evans is really the only one that fits that scenario.
it
Even
does.
Carmelo does it, right? Because because the thing about John's 47, right? He's been doing this 25 years. So when he showed up at that point, right, he was probably in his early 20s
I think so, probably.
or mid 20s ish, right?
Yeah.
As of right now, Javon Evans is the only one who fits that.
Right.
I
agree.
I mean, the
If
whole
that's,
thing
if
of
that's the
Luther
true
doesn't
way
make
they're, if that's truly the way they're doing it, or if it's a storyline that John's saying all this stuff, because we don't know. I would think John would have free reign of what his promos were, but who knows? And as far as if The Rock comes in, the only way that's going to happen is if one of the guys in the tournament get beat up prior to their match, and then he's there, and I'll fill in.
I'm the final boss. I have to go ahead. The
Right.
whole tournament was bullshit.
Yeah.
And then after the final guy wins, there's a massive. He gets beat up. He gets thrown. They should do something new. Like he gets thrown out of one of the roll-up doors onto the top of a car. I
Yeah.
don't think we've seen that happen.
Not in a while. Because that's the only way I see The Rock being in this. I mean, but then again, he does have a lot of say in this crap.
But then again, that's 100. Then that's complete opposite of the spectrum from what John has said.
Right. But again, like you stated, I'm the final boss. I don't care about your tournament. This is what's going to happen. They could be playing that type of. I mean, I don't know.
And Cena has to win that match.
Yes.
If it were to come down between those two, John Cena has to beat The Rock.
Well, yeah. And then, of course, after the match, they hug each other and shake hands.
And then John gives his 30-minute speech.
Yeah,
That's the other thing about that night, right? Like how long? Well, it's exclusive to Peacock, right?
Yep.
Okay, so they don't have a hard end.
Right. Peacock could say, hey,
So John can go ahead and so John should get a better send off than Goldberg.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
Do you think with it being exclusive to Peacock, you might see anything with, like any surprise guests, like from any Peacock shows or movies or anything like that, to like help promote that?
I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility.
I mean, I just figured with John being an actor, he might cross paths with some people. Who knows?
Well, I could see there being special guests. Yeah, for sure. I can definitely see.
He'll be in the crowd, I'm sure.
Do they bring some of the people from the Peacemaker? Some of his movies that he's been in. Something along those lines, stuff like that. Lachlan,
Yeah.
that's a really good point. I was looking at that, man. I think.
Well, look at the price.
I wonder if this tournament has caused this.
I think it kind of has, because you don't know who he's going to fight. He could be fighting some no-name Joe Schmo, and it's just going to be a shit match.
I wonder how it go. I wonder after this week. We have 12, and so then we'll after this week after Friday we'll have 2 more guys that we know will move on to the next round, and then we'll have 8 that haven't gone ahead and done anything yet, and then the following week we'll get down to that.
And we'll find out this Friday one of the mystery guys.
Right.
I would agree with Lachlan there about the gouging prices.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They were showing. I was watching a video of a guy. The final row in the upper deck was like $460.
Well, even where he's good for
that was before fees.
the ones in Madison Square Gardens, even high up, were in the mid 400 to 500 range
Yeah.
for a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's Cena. I'm not paying that kind of price just to see him.
I'm wondering if they have an idea right now of how they want to go, but I think they're going to leave it open to see how ticket sales are going, engaging. Like, it would not surprise me if they have a thought process as to who it is right now, but if they
I'm
get
sure they
down
know
to
who it is.
like the final two, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh crap, we still don't have a lot of seats being sold." Uh-oh.
Do they change it and then bring in The Rock there to sell more seats? Because that would
Do
sell
they
more.
do something? I don't know.
Probably. I'm sure as they get closer, they're going to keep building and try to get more people there. And I'm
Yeah.
sure they're going to try to hold out as long as they can at the highest possible price.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, and are we going to see Cena wrestle Monday night again? Or it was last Monday night actual match? Because I can't see who they put him up against this Monday.
You know, well, I mean, that's a really good thing, unless he did some kind of open challenge.
Yeah. I mean, that could be a way of losing the belt.
I would think in Madison Square Garden, if you were going to Madison Square Garden, you're paying, thousands of dollars to sit ringside. You're paying, $500 to sit, in the 300 sections in the last row. And John comes out, hits his music, and he just, talks for 20 minutes and then goes, "Hey, thank you very much," with no match. Holy crap.
Because the rest of the matches on that card are going to be crap.
Oh my gosh. It'll be a freaking boo fest, man.
Yeah.
They will boo the living shit out of that. That would go over really, really bad.
To what Mike said earlier, that he does drop the belt, that would be a time to drop the belt. He's already got his Grand Slam, so he drops the belt there. It doesn't really hurt him any. He does an open challenge, somebody comes out, beats him for the belt, boom. At least you got a match.
Yeah, again, it's just who you putting that strap on.
Yeah,
Say that?
I said that's what she said.
maybe X-Pac comes out as 1, 2, 3 Kid.
Yeah.
Or the Hurricane.
The Hurricane.
That would be funny if the Hurricane came back. I don't
know
if that would draw too many people, but that'd be funny for me.
Mike doesn't know the Hurricane.
Oh.
Nope.
Right? You don't know Shane Helmsley?
No.
He's a I don't know, booker, or I don't know.
I forget what he does. Yeah,
or he's a trainer or something along those lines. I just don't know what they do. I mean, it's crazy. Here it is. We don't even know the whole tournament, and you're trying to figure out the end and everything, and that's just goes to show you, because the first 12 guys that they have gone ahead and announced, even though there's 2 secret guys, none of them excites you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Where's the buildup? What are they going to do?
I mean, you could have put a bracket out and had those 2 spaces empty as a secret competitor, and still had the bracket out there to say, "Hey, this is what's going to happen. You don't know who these 2 guys are," and then work it from there. But they didn't. So they know who's going to face them. Obviously, yeah, that's already probably been written, I'm sure.
I think they do. I think they have a thought to it,
and they have a backup plan.
But I think they have, they have to have something else in the in the hopper, ready to go at a moment's notice, because of the ticket prices and stuff like that.
And are they going to do, like you said, is it going to be that one match with Cena, and then the rest are going to be all NXT matches? All the young players come out and doing a.
Oh, Mike, what did you say it was?
He was saying it's NXT versus main roster.
Yeah, so I mean, if they did that, that gives all those young guys to be in front of a bigger crowd. But how many of those are going to be squash matches?
Yeah.
To be able to give John Cena that 30 minutes at the end.
It will be kind of cool to almost be like the WWE or WWF back then versus WCW when they first acquired them.
Yeah. Maybe Buff Bagwell comes out with his fake leg.
He's buff and he has the stuff.
Or who was that one that faced McMahon? A young kid? Zach something, I think his name.
Zach Gallen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's they have, you know.
It's the
I mean,
grease.
it's weird when you think about it, right? Today's the 12th of November, so technically, you know, it's only 31 days ish, you know, to go. There's only 3 more appearances.
Mm-hmm.
This Monday there's Survivor Series, and then there's the last one.
Is he scheduled at Survivor Series or just to be there? I don't think he has a match yet there, does he?
No.
So I mean, that's another thing that could be a part where they bring in The Rock and they have their final match there too. So I mean,
I didn't hear about Tanahashi going ahead and retiring next year. I don't know. I know, to me, I don't know what they're gonna do. It was funny. It was, wow, I can't believe it. December's gonna be his last match. And it just seems that ever since SummerSlam, it's just like
kind of whatever.
it's like, yeah, okay.
Maybe it'll be Ron Cena.
That would be cool.
I mean, why wouldn't R-Truth? Well, R-Truth is in the tournament, I think.
Now he's able to be drawn, but I don't know if he has yet.
You know, I mean, there's, you know, again, I don't know if you'd want that to be the final match. You know, again, I don't know if you go by what John said they would like to accomplish with his last match.
It
These
makes
two
sense to be.
surprise guys and the next set that they announce on SmackDown. Well, there better be some guys in their early to middle 20s if that's what you're talking about.
Right.
You know, and you think about it, it's going to be big wins for these guys as they go through this tournament. Like, if the thought is, if it's Javon Evans, he's got to beat Gunther. And there's nothing that would make you believe that he would beat Gunther.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then if he beats Gunther, then he has to beat another, you know, WWE superstar or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. I saw, you know.
If he beats Gunther, does he go on and say Sheamus moves on and beat Sheamus? I mean, the odds are.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's what I mean. A lot of those guys. There's not a lot of guys in that, you know, in that early to mid 20s. Again, if you're going by what John is saying, hey, I want to give a young guy a shot.
Well, I think that's just how the business is going. I think they're taking more time developing guys instead of just throwing them out on the main roster and booing because they can't afford to send somebody out there and crash and burn.
Right.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Do you guys think John headlines the Hall of Fame class when they do Mania in Saudi Arabia so they get more tickets sold there?
Probably.
To make that a success?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Well, is there a requirement they have to retire for so long before they get in?
No, because Mysterio's in.
That's true.
And he's still wrestling.
I mean, I know they pushed Edge when they thought Edge was not going to ever be able to wrestle again.
That's true.
And I think Triple H wasn't it announced that Triple H is going in this year.
No, he went last year.
Stephanie this year.
Stephanie was the first one announced for this year's.
I'm curious to see when they're going to put The Rock in there. Because I think he should have been in already.
Or maybe he headlines the class for Saudi.
I'm not gonna. I hope they do not go ahead and push John for Hall of Fame. Then I think the U.S. crowd, the home fans, need to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah, but they need to make Saudi a success.
But what's going to be a success? How's it going to be? You know, like you know they're going to sell it out.
Or do they push John at this year's Mania and The Rock and Saudi to get some big boom?
You know, Lachlan, that really is a good point. They are running out of the top of the card guys.
Yeah, there's not many.
Because
They
all
always
the guys
got
that
one
could
in
be
their
there,
back
they don't
pocket.
take seriously.
They
I mean,
do.
how many more years
They
is
do
there?
always have one
You know, everybody
they can
thought
depend on.
finishing the story was going to be nice and sweet. We got on the other side of that fence, and the grass ain't green.
No, it's
Well,
not.
But I'll tell you, I mean, I will say I was one. I was like, you know, finishing the story is not a good thing. Because look how I don't want to say inspiring. That's not the right word. But look how I don't know, whatever word goes in there, Cody's reign has been.
It
Has there
hasn't
been
been good.
is there any excitement in reality? You know, do you have, if you're knowing Cody is going to wrestle, do you have any excitement in you on that match?
Maybe. Depends on who he's wrestling and if it's not repetitive.
But look at what we've had so far. Just go by what we've had so far. John Cena was the only one that there was some excitement for.
Yeah.
Right.
The Kevin Owens match was exciting. But I don't know if that was last year or...
Owens
Right.
would be an interesting John Cena match, but they're not going to have that.
What?
Kevin Owens come back. But even he's older.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't. Again, I boils back to the question I had before. What is what are they trying to get out of this?
Yeah. Where does it promote anybody to do this?
Right. You know, if it's, hey, I want to give a young guy a chance, then it should have just been all NXT guys in the tournament. That's what it should have been. That's what it should have just been, all NXT guys. I know some of them may be a little older and stuff like that, but maybe you throw in a couple of higher ranking independent guys.
Yeah. I think
You
that'd
know.
be a good idea, but we obviously know they didn't.
Dom, you having a stroke?
I want to know who is Cozy.
Cozy does karate promo.
Dom, put down the beer.
Dom, this is why you should wear a helmet when playing football.
To go back to what Lawkin said, the run out headlines. I mean, you look at them like, how much longer do you think Randy's going to wrestle? How much longer is Sheamus going to wrestle? Rusev, and you know those guys are getting up there to where they got to be close to 40, if not in their 40s.
Well, people are saying, "Oh, Randy should get."
Randy's
run.
definitely in his 40s.
Yeah, right. Randy's in his 40s.
He's probably 46, 47, just like John.
Yeah, I mean, people are like, "Oh, Randy should get another run." I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think Randy should get another run. But to Lockin's point, where are those next guys? Okay, Breaker has everything that you can think about, all right? But you put him with a faction now. So what do? You know, if you did a war games, could that be a time? I mean, would that be a time to, kill the vision? Well, no. If what Mike was saying a little bit before about Theory going ahead and going in being like the mole, right? Because you could have Breaker turn on if you want to build that guy to be the headliner, the guy who's going to go to the next step. You could have Breaker turn on the entire team at war games.
And I think to Mike's point, I think Seth breaking up the vision makes more sense than anybody else.
He kind of has to now, doesn't he?
I think so.
He kind of has to break him up. You can't have somebody else break up the vision. That's a slap in the face. He's the visionary, the revolutionary. Seth freaking Rollins. But I don't know, man. I just, I'm not going to stop watching.
Right.
But
they need the lunatic fringe back.
But you still scratch your head. Like I said, you scratch your head. I mean, the thing about the Julia Chelsea match, what got me there was just how fast it was. Yes, Chelsea cheated, but it was just how fast that match went. I mean, that was like close to a squash, but not a squash, right?
Right.
That match was that match 3.5 minutes, maybe
4.
And the funny thing is Julia, and I also found out that night that Julia is half Italian, which I think is which is great. She's Italian, Japanese.
I mean, is that a way to have Julia and that other girl she's with have issues and they start a feud? I mean, what are you doing there?
They can, but I don't know what it's doing. I think, it boils down to the fact of is that, they have Julia. If you watched her wrestle in the past, she's an unbelievable wrestler. But look what they did to her in NXT. You look at Stephanie. I'm glad they gave Stephanie, but what do? You put a belt on Jade, who we all know,
she's not carrying it for long.
Is an accident waiting to happen.
And who's going to be her opponent next? I mean, we don't know. I think it's going to be Bianca personally, but
I think it's got to be Bianca coming back. I don't know who else it could be.
And now they're doing another match with Dupree and the man, Becky Lynch.
Right.
Is this where or Dupree beats her this Monday night? Can't see a belt. Well, it is a women's belt. They could change that on Monday night.
They could be, in a way, maybe setting something up. I could see if they did that, then to me, if you do that, then you're pushing Becky into the women's world title part.
Right.
And I think what you could potentially start is some kind of feud with Natalya, Natalya being jealous. And they talk about her on the independent run, how she goes by Natty Neidhart, and she wrestles, she dresses different, she wrestles more aggressive. Maybe that turns her there, and they do that.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. It's just to me, it's one of those things where, again, you go back to what Larkin said. It's like, what are they doing? They just suck, right? And it's sad. It's sad, and I mean, I feel bad for the people who pay a lot of money to go to these shows.
Yeah.
I think they said Detroit. In Washington D.C., front row was like $12,000.
Yep. And it's not like you get a whole lot that comes with that. What's up, Manus?
What's up, Manus? Yeah, agreed. And look what you're going to see. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna see. I'm gonna see NXT go up against the WWE main roster. Woohoo!
I think after the Attitude Era, WWE just went so far downhill, and I don't think they can climb back out of it because they can't find guys that were like that back then.
No, they can. They won't let them.
That's true too.
Right? LA Knight, look what they're doing. Like, I mean, you know, LA Knight, who, if you remember, Max Dupree, maybe he's Maxine's brother, and Maxine Dupree and Max Dupree can go up against Chelsea Green and Ethan Page for that, you know, mixed, you know, tag team championship.
It would be interesting, but they actually are not brother and sister, just so you know. I looked it up to check to see both their names, two separate, different last names.
They weren't spelt the same way. Dupree was not spelt the same way.
No, well, no. One, LA Knight's last name begins with a G, so
No. He was Max Dupree.
yeah, in the one as a storyline.
Right, he went by Max Dupree.
Right.
Well, her name is not Maxine Dupree. That's her ring name. I see.
Let's see.
But again, WWE writers, they don't think of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Sydney Janine Zamurazel something.
Right.
But that's like everybody thought LA Knight was Ezekiel Elias, and he's not.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You know.
I think LA Knight's going to be in this tournament too.
Why?
It doesn't make sense now that I think about this. It wouldn't make sense because he's already doing Survivor Series. So. But it doesn't elevate him at all to go against Cena.
No, I think they have to. You know, they'll look. Obviously, they have a plan. You know what it will be. Who knows? I think they're going to let the next 2 weeks go. I think they'll see where ticket sales are right after Thanksgiving. There'll be basically 2 weeks to go. And they'll have to figure something out at that point in time. You know, they'll have to. They're going to have to lower prices.
Yeah,
I don't know what would make people want to go and pay those kind of prices to see that type of a show, unless it's just, hey, I can go ahead and at the end of the night, I have my ticket stub. You know, that says I saw John Cena's last in-ring match. Like, that's the only draw.
And that's kind of a iffy.
You know, that's the
You're
only
gonna have to
draw.
bring some other high-profile guys, even if they're retired or not, whatever, back just to get some money in there. Even if they don't wrestle, just to be there.
Well, I can see that. I can see like the Undertaker being in the crowd. I mean, you can see Stone Cold being in the crowd. You can definitely see some of these guys being, you know, dignitaries and stuff like that. I mean, I can definitely see that type of stuff going on. I would think Alex Ovechkin, if the Capitals aren't playing, that he would be there. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd have the hockey guys, maybe they have some of the basketball guys. I can definitely see that happening. But I don't want to pay $460 to see in the nosebleeds to just know that, hey, Alex Ovechkin is all the way down there, one of them little peoples.
Yep.
You know?
Maybe Rikishi comes out of retirement to face John.
Nothing like a stink face to send him out into retirement, though.
Right?
Put him out of his misery. Or maybe that's his thing. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be interesting to watch, but
like you wouldn't have Punk and Jay and Cody and maybe even the guys from the Vision wrestle on John Cena's last night.
If they're talking like Mike says, then no. I mean, they might go up against NXT guys, but I can see Breaker doing a match there because he being coming up from NXT and maybe going against Oba or somebody like that if they're not in the tournament, just to kind of give these guys a shot on TV. But I don't think it's going to be a great PLE personally, or Saturday Night Main Event. Sorry,
I could see Cody giving somebody a shot.
shot at the title maybe.
I don't know about the title, maybe just exhibition.
Maybe Punk does the same thing.
Well, I can see that because then they're not. A loss doesn't hurt them in any way.
Right. It's like, okay, well, I fought Cody. Yeah, I lost, but I put up a good match.
Yeah.
I think it's just basically to watch these guys and see how they do on the main stage, I think, is what it is. But are they going to do that with the women of NXT too then? Like, how many matches is it going to be? A 5-card match again?
There's no reason why it would be more.
Or are they going to do a 4-card?
I can't see them going more than 5. That's not their MO.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
people are paying for 5. Why
Right.
give them more than that?
Right. If you're already paying $2,000 to sit in the row, why am I gonna? There's no expectation that I'm gonna give you more than what you've been seeing out of all the PLEs we've had. You're gonna get 5. You're lucky you're gonna get 5. If they could think about it, they could do 4, knowing that John's gonna go ahead and maybe give some kind of a speech. Now,
That's true.
could John go ahead and like, I don't know, is it a this is your life type thing? Like,
That'd be cool.
unlike, do they have, does Kurt Angle show up to give a little talk?
That would have been good lock-in.
Yes. That would have been that would have been a good one. That would have been a guy that would go ahead and get a unbelievable push. Because he's believable, because you've seen him, right? You've seen him. The matches that he has had with Gunther and when they were NXT are unbelievable.
My thing is, most of these guys, when they retire, say on a Saturday or a Sunday night after being, they're there the next Monday to do their retirement speech. I wonder why John's not doing that. I mean, that would kind of make sense. Have him show up on Monday night just to do his speech, like most of them have done. Because you had Shawn Michaels you had Ric Flair, The Undertaker. Most of them have come out Monday night, done their speech. Everybody comes out and gives them hugs and all that kind of crap. It just doesn't make sense to do it on Saturday night. But then again, maybe John has obligations. I don't know.
Tyler Bate would be good too. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Tyler Bates, but I hear what you're saying. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm just not a fan of him.
I will say I agree with Mike. I have a feeling you're going to see Joe Henry there in this tournament.
I can see that. Big enough name.
Yeah.
And is he one of the surprise guys? You go, okay, and the next opponent is just saying his name, and he'll appear.
I could be the Friday night mystery guy.
Well, that's just it. Whoever it is, you can't be a mystery on that Saturday, right? I mean, whoever it is, you got to go ahead and you got to show your face over the. I mean, we got to know the names. What are they going to do? They're going to have these surprise guys come out in masks, and we're not going to know who it is, right?
That would be interesting, though.
You have Oba Femi come out in a mask and everything, and no one's going to see that mountain of a man and go, "I wonder who that could be."
No, he's going to be another Americano.
What do you mean? It's very possible.
They all
You
come
don't
out.
know who it is under the mask. They could look have the same build, but they got a mask on. You don't know who it is.
That's true.
I don't see them doing that, but
No, you destroy Obifem if you do that.
Maybe it would be the original El Grande Americano.
That
What do you
could
mean the
be
original?
biased.
It's been one guy.
Yeah. Chad Gable.
I don't know. We'll
could have
see.
been in this though.
We'll see. It makes for some compelling TV. I don't know if it makes for interesting TV.
What about Otis for John Cena's last match?
And he hits the worm.
That's how he's going to finish him.
And then you have that one from Too Cool that did the worm come back out. Oh, this is how you do it.
Scotty Too Hottie.
Yep.
Hey, you could really throw a massive monkey wrench in the system. Have his last match be against Nikki Bella.
That would be awesome.
Oh man, that would be hilarious.
Well, you're not wrong there.
Waiting in the ring and you hear her music hit. What the hell? You know. I don't know, fellas, but I just want to say thank you for making number 150 special.
Maybe it's Nia Jax.
Oh my gosh.
Or what is it? Karma, whatever her name was, that big black girl from back in the day.
Oh, you talking about Awesome Kong?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, she was a tough girl, man.
Yeah, but I think, like you said, it's a possibility that you see like Kurt Angle be there during the speech and come out and congratulate him and all that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I could definitely see that at the end. Right at the end, it's over and everything. Hey, John, people want to go ahead and and give their congratulations and yada yada yada, and you have I mean, you would think, even if it's just sitting there, that a guy like Angle would be present in some way, shape, or form, even if it's a backstage interview, something along those lines. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, right? Because it makes sense.
Like maybe giving John a little pep talk before he goes out, and
Yeah,
I think you're going to see at the end they're all going to come out obviously on the stage and all the people and giving them a clap and all that ovation. But
Or
the
just
locker room is going to empty out at the end of the
milk.
night and stand at the beginning of the ramp. In my
except
opinion.
everyone gets a punch. I'll take it. You do not like John Cena. He was good for the show for a while, and then once he took the road of the Rock, it just kind of went downhill for him, I think.
Well, I think what it was is when you look at what the wrestling business was very different. When those guys were coming up, it was more of it was very little pushing of the young guys right away. They had to earn their stripes and stuff like that. But they did by going to house shows and doing all this other kind of stuff that they don't do anymore. So a guy has to go to NXT to cut his teeth. And they build them up there. And then you're a champion there, and then you come up, and then you potentially look. Like, other than what? Other than Seth, has there been any NXT champion that has had any kind of significant, whether it be a run or even just any kind of significant role over the last bunch of years? Who?
Was Roman ever a champ in NXT?
No, I don't think so.
He'd be the only other one I could think of.
I mean, does Balor count?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Who?
Finn
Balor.
Yeah, but look what they've done
Kevin
with him.
Owens.
I mean, as of late, yeah, they haven't done much with him, but I mean, he was going to have a pretty good run there early on. Yeah, Kevin Owens would be a good one.
That's true, KO. But there hasn't been many. Mello was one. Look what they've done to him. I mean, again, are these guys ready? Maybe they think they are, but I don't know. Maybe they're not. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know why you have a guy like Mello. You let him do what he did in NXT, going up against, Trick, a bigger guy, and then going ahead and and coming up to the main roster with zero push. I mean, you could say Drew, but Drew was here before he got basically shoved down to NXT after he got fired and he came back and he went to
And then
NXT.
he just built
He
himself.
makes a good point on the women, though. Like, there's a good bit of women that have transitioned, like, far more than men.
Agreed 100%.
Yeah.
But how many of those matches are you excited to watch?
None. Sorry, but no.
I mean, you're right. Becky, Bailey, Sasha, Charlotte. I mean, what's her name? Stephanie, Julia. From that standpoint, yeah, Julia had a terrible reign. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that you're right. There have been a lot of women, Locke, and that's 100%, 100% true. 100% true. But they haven't gone ahead and they haven't, but it's like you don't see the women dominate the way some of the guys do. And I guess we shouldn't expect that.
Right.
But it's just, the way it is. Yeah. Like I said, I don't disagree. You're right. There have been a lot more women who have come up and held the women's titles. You don't see it as much with the men.
Yeah. Because they're not doing anything with the men's tag teams at all. I mean, it's just terrible. I mean, do you think maybe one of those surprise guests could be Drew? I mean, I know, quote unquote, he's suspended, but I don't see what it would do for him. But
again, to me, if you look at what John said it should be, again, if the more names we name of who it should be, it takes us away from what John said he wants it to be.
Right. But I just feel that that's just a storyline for some reason. That's where I'm leaning.
That's true, Larkin. So, I don't know.
Just have to wait and see what Friday night brings. See who that first mystery guest is. Mystery opponent. Then that'll kind of gauge you for what Monday nights would be, I think.
I think after this first round is complete and we go from 16 to 8, I think we'll have a better idea of what it potentially could be. But I still think right now they're looking at ticket sales. And I think that could have a direct effect of what they do with this tournament.
It could change some spots. People they hoping to get in there, and they're like, well, all right, well, he's not going to help us sell tickets. Let's put this guy in instead.
I mean, as fans, who would you want to see? Like who, and I can honestly say, I honestly don't know who I would want John Cena to fight as his last opponent. I really don't. I just can't think. There's no name that jumps to the top of the list in my brain when I think of John's last match.
And not to the top of the list, no. A couple guys I wouldn't mind seeing. I mean, if Stone Cold was up to it, that'd be an interesting match.
One match that would be really awesome if he wasn't dead would be Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool match.
Maybe it's Diesel. he comes out.
You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't even say like I'd be like, wow. Let's say if all of a sudden, you know, like if we didn't have this tournament and no one had a clue, like to me, to hear Roman's music hit, like that would be like, wow, holy cow! All right, awesome.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, there's nobody that I could think of right now that who is on the roster. But I go, wow, that would be a cool match to see between John and this guy. You know, I mean, John versus Punk would be nice, but we've already seen it.
Yeah.
Cody, already seen it. I'm
Mhm.
not even going to say, you know, Solo, okay, but who already seen it? Randy, already seen it. AJ, already seen it. Right? So
Most of the main roster we've already seen.
what's left? I mean, in a way, in a crazy way, I mean, it is, you know, Gunther. But I, you know, again,
I just don't see that one now.
just gotta hold off and see what, you know, could be, could
I
be
don't.
the Miz. I mean, but again, that goes against what he said what he talked about the other night. He said he wanted to give a young guy a shot. Fatu, if he was healthy, would probably be pretty decent.
I think he might actually see him. I don't know. I just feel that there's something there that might happen. I mean, maybe have Ron Simmons come back. You know,
Damn.
ADL.
Damn. Well, that's true. I mean, yes, you could have, but you could have. I don't think Jono's going to hold it in his last match because if you lose, there'd be a celebration for that champ that would go on. I think you'll see potentially the Miz. I mean, you could have the Miz against John at SummerSlam. I mean, sorry, at Survivor Series with John dropping the belt to Miz and then Miz going ahead and dropping the belt, let's say on a Monday Night Raw or are they on SmackDown, whichever one they're on, like drop it there to Mello.
Or do you have John in Madison Square Garden drop it to the Miz, and then the Miz faces Mello at Survivor Series for the belt?
I'm gonna say no, just because I think John with the title, you have to have some titles on the line, or it would make sense. You might want to have some titles on the line at Survivor Series when you already know you have your two world champions,
Yeah, true.
you know, already in a match, and you have at least one of the female, like Stephanie, because because there was a challenge for Raw games with the Kabuki
Rhea.
Warriors and Lash Legend and what's her name, Nia Jax against, you know, the other four there.
So that's set up. And
Well,
that's
actually, no, Stephanie was not a part of that.
no,
right?
it was
Alexa and Charlotte.
Alexa, Rhea, and Io Sky.
Io.
But you have the tag team champs in that match, so that takes that away.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you put the men's tag teams up. Maybe
You should. I mean, for crying out loud.
Because there's no guys world champion up because they're both in Survivor Series.
Yeah. It should, but again, what's Survivor Series going to be? Survivor Series going to be a five match card, or are they going to add some? Are they going to go a little more on that one?
I mean, if Becky loses Monday night to Maxine, they could put that on there as a match to give you. That gives you 3 matches because you have the 2 main ones, and then you'd have that one. You'd have to have at least 2 others. So yeah, you got a point there. What are they going to do?
Yeah. And well, you already know 3 matches, unless somehow John gets sucked into
The War Games.
War Games.
I can't see that, but it's a possibility.
right? So if you say
If they
he's
can't get
not,
Roman, I think it's John.
if you say he's not in that one, then you already know 3 of the matches. One's going to be John, and you have men's war games, you have women's war games.
Right.
So
Yeah, the main matches will be long. You're right. So you have to come up with 3 more.
yeah, I don't think they'll go more than 5.
I can't see him doing more than 5 now. Because you got to, like you said, you got to have that at least 20 to 30 minutes for John's send off.
Right. Very true. Well, all right, fellas. Thanks a lot for being here tonight.
No problem,
Thanks for
brother.
having us, man.
It is much
Cold beer
appreciated.
for the 150th.
That's right.
150.
Next week will be 2 old guys talking about something.
Yeah. It's the We'll Figure Something to Talk About podcast.
There you go.
Well, thanks a lot, everybody, for hanging out. Much appreciated.
All right.
Don't forget, have yourself a great have a great Friday night SmackDown. Have a great weekend.
Check out Saturday
Oh yeah,
at noon on Mike Rippin for Rookies page. He's doing a I don't know what you would call it, but
fundraiser.
Fundraiser for Joe Mansman, who lost his father. So there's over, I think there's 106 things being given away: autograph shirts, autograph pictures, boxes of cards, mystery packs, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on that wheel. Mike sent it out. I think, like you said, it's definitely over 100. Like you won't be able to read the items on the wheel because there's at least 100 items that are going to be on the wheel. If it gets to a wheel where you have to spin a wheel, which I think that might only happen if somebody wins and doesn't show up, then they'll hold that name to the end and everything. But the list of things that when your name gets called, it's gonna be like you're gonna go through. There's mini fat heads. There's all kinds of not only memorabilia type stuff, but there's also just other sports related stuff between cards and, like John said, autographs, slabs, PSA 10s, or people give all that kind of good stuff. So that'll start 12 o'clock on Mike Rippin for Rookies.
12 Eastern time, everybody.
Yeah. So
that'll be a good time.
Yep, be a good time. Money's going to go for a good cause. From that standpoint, help a fellow hobbyist out, collector, who went through some hard times and raise some money to help pay some medical bills. Thanks a lot. Catch you guys next week. Enjoy.
Peace out, everybody.